Hello, good evening. Welcome to Odiham Postcards 6. Before we start, I'd just like to thank Tracy Clasby for contacting me and for her kind comments. And I hope that she and I can do a bit of business. She's offered me a little car, which I don't particularly need, but I'm hoping that we can do some business around the hairdressing, because I work in a college where it's big business. I'm not a hairdresser myself, but she is, and that's the point I'm making. Anyway, all of this aside, this is the Odiham Cricket Club when it was just set up out of my cousin John's field at Hillside on Cemetery Hill. Not a very inspiring, it's not a postcard, it's a picture. It's a photo which I took. Here we have rather a pale card, but it's rather pleasant. You know where that is? It's not in Odiham, but it's within striking distance. It's a good place to go as well. I like it there. It's actually the Well at Well. So within sight of the Checkers pub. We were going to live there, my family. My father did quite a bit of work up there, and we got all excited that we were going to move there, and we didn't go anywhere near it in the end, which was a bit of a shame. Now here's a very colourful card. Quite like it. It's nice and old-fashioned, isn't it? It says around Basingstoke. Now there's 4 insets, if you prefer. I'm going to take my glasses off. Bradley Church, the Test Valley, War Memorial Park, and Oakley, the Pond. Well, I can recognise that as Oakley the Pond. The War Memorial Park is Basingstoke proper. And if you walk all the way down that road, that path, you come in the end to the council offices via the aviary. A walk I've undertaken many times. And there's also the register office there and gold rings. Far more information than you need. Here is the best of all, because it's of an old rusty old fence, and the field. I think that's the best of all. And Bradley Church. I'm sorry, Bradley. I know Bradley Wiggins and Bradley Walsh, but Bradley Church, I have no idea where that is. If you do know, please let me know. That's that. Here's a nice one. But before I show you, I have to again enter the caveat. This is not Odiham. I still think it's there. It could be Odiham, couldn't it? Just looking at it quickly, you see the church and the various outbuildings, or that which appertains. This is, in fact, in Upper Froyle, and it's done. We are in good company by Canon Edward Pruin. Canon Edward is obviously no mean artist. It has a certain modesty in that the church tower, it doesn't stand proud, does it? And the path is given all due deference. And the sky is fairly pale. Might be a couple of specks on the horizon. Quite like it. I quite like it. I'm going to convince myself. I've never been there. I'm sure my friends, several of whom are kind enough to drive me around sometimes, will come online and say, oh, I took you there the other day, but I'm not sure I have ever been there. Yeah. I always like to get cards when I do go to places, but that's not the same as turning them down if you've never been there. Here we have something from the Great Storm when I went out and took some pictures. This is a tree which has blown into the canal, I think, down in, well, it's in North Warnborough, down by the bridge. And within sight of King John's Castle. We will be having a session on King John's Castle. How could we not? But I haven't yet scheduled it. Here we have some 3 girls. It may not be the same family. 3 girls out in the road. 1, 2, 3. They are not about to sing, nor are they extras in some Dickens play. This is Chapel Street in Basingstoke in the 1890s, and this is from the Hampshire County Museum Service. So I can only conclude that I bought this in Winchester. It's rather good, I think, and I would like to think that they were pleased to be in the picture. But once again, I can't know. The overhanging eaves, I suppose. 2 of the 3 have got little hats on, and they are in standard garb. Well, in fact, that's school uniform, or what they would normally wear. I don't know. Chapel Street, I don't think exists anymore. If it does, I'd be very interested to know if there's a little chapel there. And I think it's on the way up to Basingstoke railway station. And my last card, at least for the moment, is something I can relate to more strongly. We're back in Odiham again in the 1960s, I'm sure, or the very late 1950s, but I think it's a 60s card. I can see Verstages and Dickers and the George and some cars which look, including a little sports car. Could be a Lotus, but I'm hopeless on cars. I wasn't that bad then, but I'm hopeless now. The white one there. Looks sporty, doesn't it? This is printed by Kingsley. There we are. Well, hope you enjoyed that. Just a quick one. This has been Odiham Postcards7. I had to abort Odiham Postcards6 because the sound went wrong. I was talking about Philip Humphrey's book about Colt Hill and the itinerary done by the Odiham Society. And you couldn't hear after the first 5 minutes a blasted word I spoke. It was almost as if censorship had come in. Well, it hadn't. So I will have to at some point come back to those if necessary, if there's any interest. But meanwhile, thank you very much for listening. This has been Odiham Postcards 7. Goodbye.